If I would need to come up with 10K ASAP instantly, this is exactly what I would be doing. And no, we're not talking here about stupid hacks like selling this couch on eBay. I want to keep this couch. It's actually kind of cool. Or doing freelance brand scaling. It's something you probably already know. You are just not aware enough. And it amazes me every single time, again and again and again, how people are not paying enough attention and thus they're not in the specific business model. They are not early to the party when something is about to pop off. They're not riding the wave that the most wealthiest people in the industry are riding. And the interesting thing is that it doesn't even require that much what you think it would. For example, I have a friend. He's doing around, let's say, around like $40,000 to $50,000 each month, and he's doing it by essentially teaching people how to be a good boxer. Like he has boxing coaching, he has an audience and he's a boxer. And he used to be a normal boxer in the gym before, but if you're smart, you kind of know, okay, hey, now with social media now in the day and age, I could go online and create a course about it and show people how to do it in content, and then eventually to pay me. And they are submitting him essentially videos, how they're like jabbing and crossing and hooking. He says like, oh yeah, that's bad. This is what you need to change. Oh, and this is what you need to be mentally prepared for the fight. And he just like walks him through the whole process of what it's like to be a good fighter. He just charges money for that. And the craziest thing is that this guy used to earn around like 1.7K per month training in his boxing gym. And now he's doing around like 40-ish K every single month by just building his brand, living his dream life, traveling in the world, enjoying his life, being in Muay Thai boxing gyms in Thailand, chilling there, flying to Dubai, doing the stuff he wants to do, and just like teaching what he already got paid for before, but he just didn't capitalize it on properly. We need to understand that we all have skills. We all have a certain knowledge. We all have a foundation. And people are probably paying you already things. People are probably already paying you money for things you already do. Let's say you're an ads agency. You're running ads, like they're already paying you for it. Why doing the service when also someone pays for the information about it? That's also what Alexander Hamosi discovered. This dude like did the gym launches to a point where he filled up gyms very, very fast, very, very fast. But then he said, it just doesn't work out because I fill up these gyms, but they just don't have the proper infrastructure in order to handle all of these new customers that come in, right? So then what he said is, look, let's do something different. He was kind of a little bit frustrated. And then this guy called him up. He said, dude, we need to do this gym launch. We need to work on this gym launch right now. Like, I'm in debt. I need to work on this. And I know you can do it because you recently helped my friend to do it. Then Hamosi said, no, I can't. Then he just came up with the idea of like saying, oh yeah, but I can show you how to do it. He was like, yeah, of course. How much? And Hamosi said he just thought about the most amount of money that he just like dropped a random number. He said 6K. He said done. And then he got paid for essentially selling knowledge about what he already has provided before as a service. He understood that info has way, way more leverage than doing the actual service. And he was like, dude, so wait, I get paid more for not flying out to the gym, for not having all of the travel hassle, all of the hassle I need to do in between while fulfilling services, while coaching them on the place, on the spot itself. And like, then they didn't even get the results, whatever. I just get this by sending them over my frameworks and teaching them what I do. And it boggled his mind. And then that day on, he had, I think, like 6 more calls and closed like 4 out of these. Then by the end of the year, he had like I think like $9 million info business. It was like 0 to 100 real quick. Like it happened really fast for this guy. But nobody sees obviously the years and the struggles the years of struggle and trial before he essentially had his breakthrough. So it all comes down to being in the right vehicle. And what I would be doing if I need to come up fast with money, I would not sell the service I know that I have right now. I would sell information about it. I would sell info because there's many, many people who, it's like the analogy of, look, I could either teach you, I could either bring you every single month to fish, or I teach you how to fish. Then you could probably do it yourself. Then you're not dependent on me. So how about that? And that works out for a lot of people. And in the now day and age that we have, it's easier than ever. You post content on Instagram and YouTube. You just sit in front of the cam like I'm doing right now. Do you think that I have that much preparation for this YouTube video? I just come up with a title. I just come up with an idea. Probably going to split test some of these and decide what to talk about. That's literally it. And there's so many people who are doing that as well. You don't need to have this fancy equipment anymore. You don't need to have this complete hyper quality Iman Gadzhi style editing and whatever, because people like authenticity more. We're in an authenticity crisis. People like authentic people. People buy from someone they can resonate with, who are authentic and where the values align with the ones that they have themselves. If you don't have that, you're getting completely wrecked by the industry, because you're just competing on price and you're just competing with everyone else if you're just like everyone else on the service side. But guess what? If you're a brand, if you sell an info, if you sell info, if you have an educational product, it's unique to you as a character, because people do not only buy the solution, people also buy from the character. People only buy from that person because of that person. That's the reason why the people who always say, oh yeah, think long-term, and then it's just work on a business, do nothing else, whatever. They're not long-term thinkers. You know who's the biggest long-term thinker? Probably Hormozi, Iman, in our space. Probably any guy who has a big personal brand. Because Hormozi and Iman could drop all of their businesses tomorrow and say, look, I've dropped everything. One completely broke, one completely back to zero, open for offers. And they would get instantly $1 million offers in front of them. Why? Because they build a brand. That's also the exact same reason why Iman can sell you 6 different business models in the span of 3 years. Because it doesn't matter what he sells. People buy from him as a person. Why? Because he created content. And because he's authentic with it. Obviously, he had that fancy way of editing, but it's not needed. There's many, many people out there, and also some of our clients that make a shit ton of money out of these raw type of videos that are here right now. So coming back to the original point, so how would you make now the money? You would either, there's 2 routes that you can go. You would either build the brand yourself, and essentially, instead of charging for the service, charge for education. And it doesn't need to be with content. Content just helps a lot because people buy from you as a person always. You can also do that with network, or back in the day, also work with ads. But now brand is very, very good and very, very beneficial. So you can either do that, go out, post videos, show your expertise, and get people to pay you for your information rather than for the service. Or you find someone who already has an audience and a niche skill and expertise and help them to monetize it. Like, we've done this over and over again, and we've made so much money with that. We've made hundreds of thousands of dollars with that and created millions of dollars for our clients of the virtue of that. Because they sitting on traffic, they sitting on so much traffic, but they just don't know how to monetize it. And it only takes one single client that can completely change your life on both sides. If you do it yourself, it's the first case study. If you do it for someone else, you're sitting on a lot of monthly recurring revenue if that shit takes off. I have friends of mine, they make $80,000 from a single client every single month. It fluctuates between like 60 to 90. This is all through info because they position themselves in a high leverage vehicle. The question is, are you right now in a high leverage vehicle? Are you right now at the right space, at the right frame, in the right mental capacity to make the right decisions? Because I've been at many times in my life at these situations where I had to make a decision, where I had to go down a certain path. And I thought I would make the right decisions, but in hindsight, I knew exactly what it would be. And just think of yourself if you're right now also at that point. I think there's a big thing to be talked about when it comes down to don't do what creators tell you to do or your favorite gurus you're listening to. Rather observe what they are doing and copy them. Pablo Picasso said, good artists copy, great artists steal. How can we steal the framework that they're using? Okay, they post content, they build trust, they build authenticity, then essentially sell a fucking course and make, like Hormozi, 108 million in 40 hours. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you think a guy like Alexander Hormozi, who had I think like $80 million exit with his 2 companies before he started building his brand, has nothing better to do than posting YouTube videos? And I completely forgot. He's the guy who doesn't sell you anything, right? All of a sudden, he comes around and makes 108 million in 40 hours. Isn't that crazy? So the question is, why are you not on it? Why are you still sleeping? What's holding you back? You think your SMMA you're currently in is better? You think your job you're currently in is better? What's holding you back? Think about it. These are the decisions you need to ask. These are the decisions that need to be on your mind and the questions you need to ask yourself, because it will shape the destiny, the trajectory you're on right now. One decision can change everything in your life. And that's one of these. Look, I can get drunk right now and then drive my car, drive against a tree, and then I'm dead. Then I'm dead. That's one single decision changing the complete trajectory of your life. For life. Look, I could have not talked to that girl and would never become our girlfriend, or would never had all of these experiences with her, you know? Maybe, in your case, it's your wife. So do you see how these little decisions that seem so insignificant can shape completely our life? And that's what I want you to contemplate a little bit of, is if everyone else is in that space doing insanely well, amazingly well, and everyone is gravitating towards that, why are you still stuck in an old business model? Something to think of. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Let's fucking go. Yeah, let's go. See ya.